Hi everybody, welcome to Khong Driving. Yes, it's a beautiful morning. It's about 7:40 in the morning and we are on our way up to our favorite hill climb. And guess what car we are in? Okay, this is a 2013 Saga FLX 1.6. I thought it was a 1.3, but well, it's a 1.6 and it's got a CVT and it's done only about 40,000 kilometers, so it's a very low mileage car. And we have our mysterious fan here who doesn't want to be identified. Thanks very much for your, we'll just know him as Mr. Ho. So we are here driving this car up the mountain, and yeah, well, it's got a bit of an exhaust job done, and the car is stock, about 106, 107 horsepower, 150 Newton meters of torque, correct? And other than the exhaust, he's put in a very nice big brake caliper in the front, and that comes from a Honda Odyssey, so it's 11 inches diameter versus 9 inches standard brakes. So this car should have good brakes. The rear is still retained as the drums, should be alright. And we are just checking out the car. It's got new tires, 15 inch, fairly new, and suspension is stock standard, yeah. So we're going to check it out the mountain and see how it performs. A lot of people have asked me, so, and that's why I accepted his generous offer to let me drive the car. Okay, that was the car. That is the car over the rumble strips. Checking out the cornering ability. So far everything seems to be alright. Okay, no cars behind us, and the road is clear, crystal clear. Sounds very good. So let's just go up and see how this CVT behaves. Yes, it's going to be a bit noisy, but the saving grace is that it's a 1.6 engine. The only thing about this one is that there's no pedal shifter, so the gear will shift up to maximum every time you lift off. So I think there are 6 or 7 virtual speeds, because you know it's stepless. But what we're going to do is to prevent see what is done is it's gone up to the highest ratio, and when you accelerate it goes down again to find the most appropriate ratio to suit the torque. And yes, the sun is here. So what we're going to do is we're going to shift it down to the L, which restricts it to about 140 kilometers per hour, which is more than enough. And here we are. So we go to L. Okay, confirm. Yes, we are in L. And another thing you need to do is some traffic here. In order to get the speed around the corner, and so you don't shift down, you need to go a bit faster. corner with a motorbike. So we have to throw it into the corner, and so far everything seems okay. Here we go again. Again, we share this corner with this motorbike. Thank you. There's a truck. And that's a Satria Neo. Okay, we are going flat out, okay? I lift off a bit to try to change the gears up. Okay, this guy's just nice, thank you. Okay, this is the worst that's over because we're going to start going downhill from here. Quite nicely done. No understeer, no oversteer. I remember this car, this Saga, that it was one of the most solidly built chassis done by Proton, and so handling is good because it's got a very stiff body. Okay, we're starting to go downhill now, so the brakes will help a lot. Very nice. Okay, the road is a bit damp, so you gotta be careful. Yes. Wow, it's wet, it's wet. Okay, we slow down a little bit. You can see the water across the road. Okay, you gotta drive to the conditions, yeah. Oh, it was perfectly dry on the way up, and now it's wet. Understeer, understeer. Very predictable. Yes, you gotta drive according to the conditions, guys. Yeah, don't go crazy. You must be able to recognize the road surface when it changes. And yes, there's still grip, but not as much grip as if the road was dry. So we will go a little bit slower. Okay. Yeah, it's wet. The last thing you want to do is understeer off the road, guys. There's a regular Saga, and you can see there's a car waiting to cross the road, so you must be careful because sometimes they all don't look carefully and then they dash out. And of course there's this Saga, and there's a truck, and there's another four-wheel drive coming out. So when you drive, you must take all of these things in, and you must be careful in case anything happens, so you can react accordingly. But the proactive thing to do is first you got to slow down to a correct speed so that you can manage it if anything happens. And here we are at our roundabout, and the car is still in one piece. Fantastic. Okay, so today we're not going to have breakfast here, but I'll drink a bit of tea. Somebody asked me what tea do I have. Well, it's a very nice tea. And we're going slowly round the roundabout. The truck is having a smoke. Okay, we'll put the tea back in the slot, and we are on the way down again. Okay, this time I have got the car in D, not in L, and this will help to cool down. Oh, that's another Saga. Hello, fellow Saga. Is it the same car? That's a 1.3, I think. And so when it's in D, it will shift up. But we are on the level ground, so it's okay. Later, when we are climbing, we will change it to L so that it doesn't shift up unnecessarily. So those who want to know why, because when you're in L, it will maybe shift up to third or fourth gear. That's it. I mean the virtual ratio lah. And it won't go up to 6 or 7. So your engine won't suddenly go cold on you in the corner. See, like now, it's gone to the top gear and you don't have so much control. So because the road is wet, we're going to shift down to L, and then it will give you better control over the car around the corners. Is still wet, huh? So if the road is wet, then you must take your lines through the corner. See, that's water. You must take your lines through the corner carefully. Try to not turn the steering too much at one time. Your cornering lines to straighten out the corner become very, very key. So here there is no straight line because you are in a curve, but you can still try to get a straight line through. Like here, you cut to the left to straighten out the corner, then you keep to the right and you pass the van and you come to this one. So you take a late apex and turn in so that when you are turned, you won't be facing the wall. Yes, you'll be facing the road, so you won't understeer towards the wall. Okay, that's a Beza, just to let him know we are here. His windows are down, so he could have heard us. And okay, so around the right-hander, we have to fight a little bit of tendency to understeer. And let's watch this car. Okay, he's letting us through. Thank you. The road is still wet, but you can take a bit of a line here. Yes. Dancing to music. My favorite stretch, this one. Okay, we're coming to this bend. We slow down. Can't shift down. Okay, so this part should be getting drier. Yes, it's dry. That looked like a breakdown car on the left just now, and we see a little Myvi going slow. suspension is standard. Woo. Okay, brakes are getting a bit hot. Yes, even the big brakes are getting a bit hot. So the suspension, as I was saying, is stopped. So okay, brakes are hot. I'm slowing down the car. Yeah, this is the part where the brakes start to get hot. Yes, I'm slowing down the car. Okay, I'm going to go slow for a bit because the brakes are very, very hot and the brake fluid is probably boiling by now, so we have to take it easy. Okay, so what I was doing around the early bends before the brake started getting hot was I was doing a bit of trail braking, and that is to help to settle the suspension down, because the standard suspension tends to bounce around a lot. So what we're doing now is we are staying off the brakes as much as possible and let the brakes cool down for a bit. So we're in low gear, I brake a little bit, then I release, and then we try to go through the corner without braking. Okay, scrubbing off speed. We still have to brake a little bit, but you just brake once and then you let go. You brake to just for a very short period to slow down the car, but you don't brake for too long because you want to release the brakes and let them cool with the car rolling, yeah. So when your brakes heat up, if you are not a good driver, I would suggest you go down to a low gear like we are in, and then let the car go slowly and don't use the brakes as much as you can. And but if you are not a good driver, then I suppose you should stop the car. But actually, if you stop, it's safer for you, but it's not so good for the car, because the cooling will not happen so quickly, and what will happen is that your brakes can get warped. And when your brakes are hot, don't use your handbrakes. Yeah? When you stop the car, don't pull the handbrake. That's why on the racetrack they always advise race drivers, don't use your handbrake after when you are stopped, especially if your car is very hot. So anyway, we have driven the car, and overall I think the car is still good. Well, the owner paid a little under 20,000 for it, 16,000 to be accurate. And is it worth 16,000? Well, for a 7-year-old car, 16,000, I think it's a very good value for money. And actually, yeah, well, this is the normal wrecker. Yeah, this is the way cars were built 7 years ago. They are much better now, but everything is in its place. There's nothing out of place, and the owner actually has done a bit of carbon fiber bits here and there, and the car actually looks very, very well kept. I understand it was owned by a little old lady before this. Okay guys, so generally for 16,000, I think this is a very good buy for a car. And after 7 years, this is the same CVT, so it has not failed. Yeah, it's only done 40,000 kilometers now. And okay, the brakes are marginal. Of course, we were driving very, very hard. If you are driving slowly, these modified brakes, very good. But we were pushing it a bit hard, as you can see. Well, we test the car, so you know better, right? It's for you to know. All right then. So anyway, overall, great car. Thanks, Mr. Ho, for letting us have this opportunity to share with everybody. And if you like this video, please share, give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed, you guys know what to do, right? Because we need all the subscribers we can get. And not only you, ask your friends to subscribe too. Alright then, so thanks for being with us today. And till we meet again in the next video. Bye bye.